All right, Algebra 4, we're going to continue with our introduction to sequences. Um, and in doing so, we're going to focus on our Reteach 12-1 lesson. So if you want to pull that out, it has page 7 at the bottom. And it says you can use the difference patterns to write possible rules for sequences. It says, remember, linear functions have constant first differences, and quadratic functions have constant second differences. Exponential functions have constant ratios. So, if we look at the handout that we're given, and here's a copy so you can have a look at it, and we're going to focus on these type of problems here. Just thinking about sequencing from when you were in younger grades and trying to think of, and also when you worked on functions. So let's go ahead and look at the first example we have here, which is we're going to focus on this one right here that's in black. We'll focus on that one first. So our steps are identifying the difference between the different terms, look for the linear rule to write a formula for the sequence, and step 3, simplify and write the rule for the equation, the series of numbers. So it says write a possible rule for the nth number term of the sequence. So it says number one. Number one says identify the rule. So let's do that first. So we go from 8 to 14. So that's giving us a difference of positive 6. And then we go from 14 to 20, and that's a positive 6 as well. And from 20 to 26, and from 26 to 32. So we know it increases by 32. Now next. So then we want to look at number 2. It says look for the linear rule to write a formula for the sequence. So in looking at the linear rule, we know that each term is 6 more than the previous term. So 6 more. And we said it increased by 6. And number 3 says, step 3 says, simplify and write the rule for the distance. I'm sorry, it said simplify and write the rule for A. So we said that AN was 8. So our AN is 8, which is our first number. Then we said it increased by 6. And our formula is N minus 1. So we want to go ahead and make sure we put that, which equals to 8 plus 6n minus 6, because we did a distributive property here. 6 times n is 6n. 6 times negative 1 is negative 6 minus Well, actually, nope, wait a minute. Oh, I got it. Equals 2 plus 6n. Because remember we said 6n minus 6. So we have this 8. We're combining the 8 and the 6. So 8 minus 6 gives us 2. And then we bring over the other 6 in it's by itself. So it will leave us with this as a rule. So our rule will be 2 plus 6n. All right, let's look at another example. So I listed a couple here. So we can just kind of get some practice in. So if you want to write these examples down, we have 75, 66, 57, 48, and 39. So let's look at what our differences are in between. Now we know our AN is going to be 75. So we can just write that over. Our AN is going to be 75. So we can just write that to the side. All right. So the difference between 75 and 66 is 9. So what? Decreases by 9. And then we have 66 and 57. Oh, that gives us 9. And 57 minus 48, 9. So that's a common difference of 9. And then 48 minus 39, which gives us 9 as well. So each term gives us a difference of 9. So we have 75, and then we have our negative 9, and our n minus 1, which is our normal formula. And so do our distributive property. And actually, we need to substitute our 75 here. So now that gives us 9 times 75, which is 675. Wait a minute, I'm going too fast. All right, let's do our distributive property first. All right, so now we've broken that down. So from there, we start off with 75. So if we take our 75 minus 9, which gives us 66. Wait a minute. This is a plus sign. 75 plus 9 is 84. Now that makes more sense. And then we bring down our negative 9. So once we simplify, our rule is 84 minus 9n. Okay, so let's look at the next one. So we're going to look to see, it says number 1 is to identify the differences. So the difference between 5 and 9 is 4. And then the difference between 9 and 13 is 4. 13 and 17 is 4. And 17 and 21 is 4. All right. So we know our AN is 5, and that's the number that we start with. Then we know our rule is to be n minus 1. And we had a 4 preceding that. So that would make this 4n minus 4. And then we'll go ahead and bring down our 5 because we started with a 5. So step to step, I'm going to combine these two terms, which makes this 5 minus 4, which is 1, plus 4n. And hey, there we are. So it's 4 times the previous term is our rule. Whereas the other one is minus 9n is our rule. All right, so that kind of concludes our sequence of numbers, and that will leave you guys with the other 4 to work out. So we took care of the top one, and I did examples for the other 2, so you can just go in and make those possible rules. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and you can go on the Rent Mind app, and our class code for 4th period is Gully SLA 4. So please feel free to reach out to me if you have any additional questions. All right, I will go back through this again tomorrow. Have a good day.